It is believed that 10.5 million years ago, land iguanas from South America floated over to the archipelago islands on vegetation rafts. So what did the ancestral land iguanas do once they arrived to the marine environments of these islands? Under immense environmental pressure, the iguanas that survived from then until now have gained many phenomenal abilities that their ancestors did not possess. I like to call these evolutionary superpowers. The 5 superpowers of the Galapagos marine iguana. Superpower number 1. Dark sun-absorbing skin. Dark pigmented skin allows them to absorb heat from the sun as fast as possible. This is extremely important due to the fact that marine iguanas are cold-blooded lizards whose main food supply is found in the cold water of the Galapagos. Dark skin allows them to restore heat as quickly as possible upon exiting the water, as you can see here where the marine iguana is coming out of the water and immediately lying on the rocks to warm up. Since the cold water was the pressure for marine iguanas to evolve this trait, we don't see the same trait evolved in land iguanas today. Land iguanas have much lighter skin because they don't have to come in contact with cold water frequently that cools their body temperature to dangerously low levels. Superpower number 2. Long blade-like tail. Their next superpower makes it possible for these marine iguanas to swim quickly through the water. Since they must invest energy to store and retain heat while swimming, the less energy they spend swimming, the more energy they have left over to find food and then return back to land. Superpower number 3. Razor-sharp claws. Algae is one of the marine iguana's favorite foods, and they find a lot of it underwater growing off of the rocks. In order to be able to eat it, their razor-sharp claws help them grab onto the rocks and remain stable while munching away on the algae. Sometimes there are heavy currents underwater or a predator swims by. In both cases, having a steady hold on the rocks underwater helps them to ingest algae quickly and efficiently. Superpower number 4. Flat feeding snouts. While underwater grasping onto the rocks, iguanas must eat quickly. Sometimes algae grows really close to the rock surface, so having a flat nose makes eating algae off of the rock a lot easier. Without their ancestors' more pointed nose, the marine iguana's mouths can get much closer to the rock surface and in turn ingest more algae. Superpower number 5. Nostril salt glands. Because they ingest a lot of salt by eating so much marine algae, they need one more superpower to help them keep the salt levels in their blood at a low and healthy level. These salt glands are located in the iguana's nostrils, and they make sure to secrete all excess sodium chloride that the iguana does not need in its body. This iguana appears to be sneezing, and what is coming out is extra sodium chloride it has ingested from the water that, if not excreted, would be toxic in the iguana's blood. When you add all these superpowers up, that makes one super iguana. When it comes down to evolution and the diversity of life, is it possible to really know the true limits of what an organism can someday become? Any organism alive today has evolutionary superpowers, all due to the ancestors that failed or succeeded in living before them. If marine iguanas of the Galapagos were in South America and weren't evolved to survive in water 10.5 million years ago, and today they thrive and prosper in this environment, what kind of superpowers could they have 10 million years from today? Thanks to our human superpower of the imagination and creative thought, we can continue to dream and seek answers to life's most mysterious and fascinating phenomenon. And one of those is evolution.